Hello, Masah SamForay, owner and founder of the Foray Firm with offices in Chicago and in Houston. And I am back again to talk to you about all things related to immigration. Masah SamForay, owner and founder of the Foray Firm with offices in Chicago and in Houston. And I am back again to talk to you about all things related to immigration. So the next question that I want to tackle is, when do I have to leave to apply for a green card? When do I have to leave to apply for a visa? Meaning, I'm in the United States, I want to apply for a different type of visa. Can I remain in the United States, or do I have to leave the borders of the United States to do so? So if you entered as a tourist, which again is a non-immigrant visa, you specifically asked to only come to the United States, not for immigration purposes, but rather to come on a temporary vacation tourist visa, and you applied less than 60 days later, you're going to have to show and make a pretty compelling case as to why it is that you are trying to now transfer to an immigrant visa. And you're going to have to prove that you didn't do that on purpose. Secondly, if you entered on a J1 exchange, or you came here on a K1 fiance visa and you did not marry your first fiance within 90 days and now you want to remarry, you are going to have to leave to apply. You're going to have to leave the US because you only had 90 days pursuant to your K1 visa to get married to the first fiance. And so even if you come here and you fall in love with Mr. Right point two, you're not going to be able to process that application while you remain here in the United States. Third example is if you entered illegally and you're going to have to do what we call a provisional waiver. So that's a provisional unlawful presence waiver, and you're going to have to apply for that in your home country and then explain that you were here illegally, or that you came lawfully and you overstayed your original visa. All of those things have to be done through consular processing outside of the US. You're not going to be able to do adjustment of status. So recall again, there are two different ways to change your status. You can either do adjustment of status here in the United States if you are already located in the United States lawfully, or you can do consular processing outside of the United States. Again, for green card holders and US citizens, there are a lot of similarities. Green card holders have a vast amount of rights, but there are significant differences between green card holders and US citizens and their rights as it pertains to the immigration processing. And so, with regards to having to leave the United States or being able to stay in the United States when you are trying to make changes, green card holders' spouses must wait for a visa number, which can take many, many months. And so in order to be in the US while you are waiting, if your green card holder spouse has filed for a spousal visa or a marriage-based visa on your behalf, you're going to have another valid visa. So let's say, for instance, that you came here on an F1 visa, which is a student visa, and your student visa expired. Before 60 days is up, you're going to have to get an EB visa or an employment visa or some other valid visa that is valid for at least, let's say, about 2 years after the filing of the marriage-based visa. So again, hypothetical, you came to the United States, you went to college, you met somebody, you fell in love, you were here on an F1 visa. You only actually have 60 days after your graduation to leave. So before your 60 days is up, if you have met Mr. or Mrs. Right and they are a green card holder and they want to apply for a spousal-based visa for you, you have to make sure that you have another visa that bridges the gap between the termination of your F1 visa and your ability to, or rather your granted spousal-based visa. You cannot be here unlawfully. You will have to go back home if you don't have any visa to bridge the gap. And so if you have any questions about whether or not you are eligible for a different type of visa and whether or not you can make the change that will enable you to stay here in the United States, definitely make sure you contact a trusted immigration attorney so that they can assist you through the process and make it go as smoothly as possible. I hope that this has been helpful.